Hello everyone, welcome to another Tekken guide, and in this video we're going to talk about Korean Backdash. As you probably already know, by tapping back 2 times in a row, you will get a backdash, right? And this is extremely useful to create space and produce whiffs. Now, if you keep doing that, if you continue to press back, your character will link these backdashes together. Now, this is a thing that was introduced in Tekken 8. In Tekken 7, that was much slower, something like this. That was much slower, and even in previous games. So because of that, the community created some sort of trick to link backdashes very quickly, and that is referred as Korean Backdash. What a Korean Backdash is, it looks a little bit like this. It looks similar to this. You see? I'm not doing it perfectly. It's a bit hard on player 2 side, but that's basically how it looks. So the way it's performed is, first off, you start by pressing back. So you take your first backdash the normal way. And then after that, you press down back, and then you press back. So it will look something like this. You see? Back, down back. And then if you want to keep doing that, you keep pressing down back, down back, and you will cycle, you will link multiple backdashes. So the back is just for the first backdash, and then you have to keep pressing down back, down back, like this. It's a little bit harder on player 2 side, even with the pad in general. You need to practice this, but it will look something like this. And you can see it from the command history. I'm pressing down back. The reason why you might see a double back input is just because when I'm tapping down back, the game will also register a back input. You want to press back, down back. So you don't want to do down back, down back. This can be harder on player 2 side. You need to practice both sides, because even on a pad, on an arcade stick it's completely different, but even on a pad, player 1, player 2, it's completely different, because you will use different parts of your thumb to perform the Korean Backdash. On player 2 side, you have to move your thumb up and down, like this. While if you are on player 1 side, you move your thumb left and right, and it's much easier. You see that? It's much easier on player 1 side, simply because you move your thumb left and right instead of up and down. On player 2 side, you move it up and down, and it's much more complicated. But it's doable, although it would always be a little bit more clunky on player 2 side, because of course I guess it also depends on the person, but for me personally it's much more clunky on player 2 side. Which is the complete opposite on arcade stick. I don't play arcade stick too much anymore, but on player 2 side I find the Korean Backdash to be much easier on player 2 side. On player 1 side it's much more clunky. It's gonna be very complicated at first. There is a lot to digest, but just start with a double backdash like this. Back, down back. And then with time you will start to link 3 backdashes together, and then it's gonna be 4 backdashes together, and then you will be able to do it freely. It's actually extremely important to take your time. There is a lot to digest when it comes to Korean Backdash, and you have to do back, down back. It's a complicated motion, but with time you will be able to do it pretty effortlessly, I would say. Then there are ways to train your backdash. One way is to go into practice mode and select as a dummy Paul Phoenix. So once you pick Paul as a dummy, you want to record this string, downward 1, 1, 2. Try to do it as quickly as possible, but don't select it from the move list. Otherwise, if you just do something like this, you do select from move list and you'll find downward 1, 1, 2, the dummy will perform this move way too quickly, and it will be almost impossible to backdash out of the range of the string. So record manually this move, and then reset the screen and try to backdash out of the range of this attack. You generally need 4 backdashes to effectively evade this move. And this can be a great training for your Korean backdash, as you can see. Do it both sides. You can switch position here in the menu. Wait, like this. Another important thing about Korean backdash is the fact that rhythm is way more important than speed. If you Korean backdash way too quickly, if you cancel your backdash too quickly, you will actually not create as much space as if you do it more slowly. So rhythm is actually more important. So it's not about being fast, it's about doing it with the right rhythm, with the right timing. Because the way it works is that when you do your backdash, by tapping down back, you're basically canceling your backdash. You see, I'm pressing back, and then I'm pressing down, back. By doing this, you're canceling your backdash animation. So if you press down, back too quickly, you will actually reduce the evasion of the backdash, because you're reducing the space that you're creating. So it's not about speed, it's about rhythm. It's way more important. Don't do it too quickly. And I think this is one of the downside of having something like a keyboard, where you can just spam the Korean backdash. But if you just spam it, it will not be as effective as if you just do it the appropriate way, with the right timing. You need the right timing. It's not about speed. So it's also important. It's also important to remember that it's not about speed. Don't try to make this super quickly. Don't try to learn how to Korean backdash super quickly, because it's not going to help you. You want to try to do it with the right rhythm. If you do it too quickly, you will not be able to backdash out of Paul's downward 1-1-2. 4 backdashes are enough to get away from downward 1-1-2. But if you do it too quickly, it will not be enough. You're essentially cutting down your backdashes. You saw that. I did it too quickly, and because of that, I couldn't get away from the range of downward 1-1-2, because I reduced the amount of momentum that my backdashes had. So I just cut down the backdash too quickly during the animation, too early on during the animation, and so it wasn't evasive enough. So rhythm is extremely important, way more than speed. Korean backdash is extremely useful to create space with the opponent and trying to slow down the pace of the game a little bit. And it's also useful, like I showed you, to evade strings. If the opponent is committing to a string, this can be extremely useful to evade the string and then punish the opponent with a launcher. So you want to always combine backdash with a whiff punisher. If you're backdashing, you always want to try to look out for a whiff, because this is the reason why you're backdashing. You're backdashing to create a whiff. So when you're doing this, you always want to keep in mind your main launcher. In the case of Dragunov, it could be CD1 or even a down for 2. But always keep in your head when you're backdashing, I need to be ready at any point. The only real downside of Korean backdash comes for characters like Brian and Paul, characters with backsway motions. And the reason is because when you're inputting the Korean backdash, you might press down by accident before the down back. And then once you press the back button, that's when you complete the quadricycle back motion and you will get a backsway. And the backsway, unfortunately, it's a very vulnerable animation where you can't even block. So if you main one of these characters, unfortunately you have to put a little bit of extra work in learning how to Korean backdash appropriately without tapping down by accident, or just trying to do a little bit like a wave dash animation. You do a quarter-circle back motion into back. That's also another technique that you might try to use for Korean backdashing. But unfortunately, if you're playing one of these characters, you need to learn how to be extremely clean with your inputs, and that's the same thing on player 1 side. As you can see, I'm getting backsways because if you press down by mistake, as you can see there, I pressed down before the down back. So you need to put a little bit of extra work if you main one of these characters. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and take care.